What's going on, everybody? I'm John Stamper. We are here live in San Antonio. It is Dr. Scott Luna's Breakaway Seminars. It is Business Masters Week, and we're going to keep this going with so many of the great teams that are here to learn from Dr. Luna. And we have a special story. So yesterday, we learned about Dr. Dave Ward and Elizabeth Ward's story. Dr. Ward has been practicing since about 2020, 2019, 2020, what have you. And we were listening to them talk about what their experience was like. They attended Advanced Startup, and then they were talking about coming to Business Masters. And what we kind of took away from it is they said, you know, John, our timing kind of worked out. Like, in other words, when we were in that stage, when we needed the information from Advanced Startup, that's kind of where we were. And we're progressing through that. And now we're at a point where it seemed like a lot of the systems in that for Business Masters was right where it needed to be. So here you are. We're so glad that you guys came. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Great weekend.
All right. So, Dr. Ward, I want to ask you, what are some of the things you've taken away from like the last couple days? I mean, there's so much, right? But I mean, just where's your head at as you go into next week?
Well, I love how what we continue to keep learning here is a template on how to run our business, and it's it's just nice when you're getting around the type of group that's here. You start thinking different than how you were trained as a dentist. So one of the things I really love that Dr. Luna and his team always focus on is staff and patients. And so, every time he presents a new concept on hiring or pay structure or, any kind of way to enhance the environment and the culture in the office, we're sitting there Googling on, some ideas we might have on how we want to do it our way. So really, there's so many different things, but it's always a launch pad for us to create our own ideas and identity with our practice. So that's probably some of the biggest things I've taken away from it. I mean, there's so many little things with staff, office arrangement, patient experience, and just how to operate your business. So.
One of the exciting things for us with having all of you here is we have people that are in your stage, right? Newer and earlier in your dental career. And then we have people that have been practicing for 23, 25, 27 years. And I love, both sides of the equation. What I hear a lot from those that have been practicing for a while is, man, I wish I would have had this when I started. Now, you guys have started, but you're obviously kind of in the early stage. So what's that been like, Elizabeth, from your perspective, as he starts his practice and, making sure that you guys get off on the right foot?
This for sure has been an incredible launching pad to give us direction and vision for the practice. We always knew we wanted to own. We didn't really know how we were going to go about that. We were super open to everybody's ideas and advice. And then we came and we saw, and I was like, that's it. Let's just do this and move on. It's for sure going to be our little template Bible for everything, and we just have to implement it.
So one exciting thing to note about this couple right here is Elizabeth helps with the sedation in the practice, right? Just with your experience on the medical side or what have you. So what has that been like to not only be there to support him, but then also like you're a big part of this?
Yeah, so I've been an ER trauma nurse for 12 years, and integrating from medicine into dentistry has been great. And a little bit challenging at times, but we're a great team. We work together very, very well, and it's just been fun. It's fun bringing in my experience from my medical side and trying to just help out people, because a lot of that, you miss that a lot in dentistry too, or just simple things, patients passing out, low blood sugars, things like that. It's a lot of the staff doesn't have a lot of experience with that, so having someone like me on staff to kind of facilitate some of those scary situations it's fun and it's helpful, and it kind of keps me on my toes still.
Well, there's more that you do than just that. I mean,
she's being modest, Dave. She's being modest.
When the Affordable Health Care Act was passed and they implemented digital records, she was a part of the team to help implement Epic and some of these other practice management software. So she used to train people too. So, her ability to add that layer to the practice as well, getting familiar with the software, training people how to do it and things like that. She's also doing those kind of things as well. Which is great. So.
A lot of times I hear from dentists that are starting out that they never really feel like they can kind of get ahead, right? They always feel like they're chasing to get ahead, whether it be like technology or products and services or what they're trying to learn. You mentioned this launching pad, right? Do you feel like, over the next couple months, 6 months or whatever, that with a lot of things that you learn, like it's going to help you guys get ahead?
It has to.
Yes. It has to, and absolutely it will. I mean, because a common thing that we'll do as healthcare providers, dentists, hygienists, we get so busy we don't take the time to work on the business. And that's one of the big things we keep hearing about here is to generate more money, or income, revenue, cash flow, whatever it is, whatever area of your business you want to improve. If you step back and basically it comes to that adage of haste creates waste. And so if you're just rushing through and not taking the time to nurture areas of your practice, that's where we all feel like we're behind, because we're behind to begin with. Just like on our schedule. Too many patients, not scheduled properly, you're drowning all day long. So
this course for sure feels like it's possible to do it all. It's possible to have that work-life family balance, to have money, not stress every day. Hopefully that's the goal, right? But this makes it very tangible and it feels like it's doable, especially we're so medical and dental driven. We don't have a ton of that business side yet. And so this makes us confident if we can just do the simple things and try not to overthink it. And so we're really excited about trying to implement all of this.
So you mentioned the manual and all the information in there. This is probably a tough question, but is there one thing that you learned this weekend that it's not that you didn't know, but you were it really, now that you practiced for a couple of years, it really struck you? You were like, oh man, now I can connect the dots. Is there anything that you can think of in regards to what you learned?
For me personally, it's more of just that full circle moments of the things he's really complained about or had concerns or questions about within practicing the last 3 years and all the different environments that he's been. Almost every example Scott says is something David's lived through the last 3 years. And nothing changes. There's no systems, there's no implementation, there's a high administrative staff turnover, much less general staff that needs to be there. So we've just been treading water the last 3 years, and everything Scott has said, David's done or been through, and Scott seems to have a solution for that. And so I'm really excited to see what a normal work environment would look like. Because not all dentistry has to be terrible or hot mess expressive.
Of course, I think that's the thing. That's why I'm excited. Really excited for you guys, because like you mentioned, that's why I was talking about the feeling like you get ahead, because it is easy, to feel like you're behind, and then you wake up and you've been practicing for 10 years, and you're like, you feel like kind of beat on that cycle, and so now it feels like you can implement a lot of these things, and you're going to be able to kind of build out that space and time.
I personally have had a very fulfilling career and really, really enjoyed my time. I never really hated going to work or hated working with the people that I worked with, and I'm ready to create that environment for him and our family, because he has not had that yet. And so I'm really excited that this is the template that it just has to work. It just seems like it will work, and it will do great things for his career.
Right, and probably the thing I'm most excited about is we are doing a startup, so the cash flow is a question mark, but I think we're most excited that we get to start the practice with this type of foundation, instead of going into something that's established and just kind of trying to make it work and wing it. So, and you mentioned earlier about, people that have been practicing for 20 years and me and being an associate for 3, there's this feeling that you get that the practice can be run better, and that's what has really drawn us to come to this kind of stuff. It's people that have had success with running a successful business. They talk about how their life is not as stressful, and their own work experience is better. So that's what we're looking, because in my last 3 years, that's the one thing I keep noticing. Everybody's stressed, everybody's tired. Things aren't working. Patients are unhappy. There's got to be a different way. There's got to be something different. You got to break away from it.
I love that. All right, so how about some of the companies that are here? It was really important to Scott that back last August that we start to bring these companies into the room, so that on breaks and things like that, they're companies that fit into his model and methods. Talk what that's been like.
You want to talk about that? Because you've been really leading that spearhead.
I will say, after March, I was already kind of trying to make connections with certain people. Prior to attending in March, I had already kind of connected with dental intel. I tried to connect to things that I already knew I could take from my previous experience, and I could implement that immediately within the practice. So obviously the practice management software, I was like, let me just take this and try to run with it. And then this round, I ended up already having connections with dental marketing and
Yeah.
Pure Logic, and I had no idea I was talking to all the same people that were here already.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
I loved that full circle moment, and honestly, I was super committed to doing this startup and helping him grow. But like I said, we didn't know anything business. After March, I totally changed my entire mindset and became a business person.
Yeah.
I'm business oriented. I'm business centered. It's our thing. It's how we're done. Oh, my earring
there
fell
we
off.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Da-da-da.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Let's just go
Hey,
ahead and take off the other one.
It's good. It's good.
So
Yeah. I love it.
March forever changed my mindset. Not only is it a launching pad for our practice, for systems and everything, it has
Mindset.
forever
Yeah.
changed my mindset in
that's
dentistry.
that's a good point. Both the courses we've taken has made it seem like all this is possible.
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Yeah. Awesome.
very.
The last thing I wanted to ask and actually talk about is that I had the opportunity to sit with you guys at lunch and like talk about teamwork, right? So these two, we went to lunch. They even kind of have like how they do things together at a restaurant. And so I feel like after ASU
Food's very
and
important.
Business Masters, this team is going to kick butt in Georgia with their practice. So I want to thank the both of you. It's been a pleasure to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Very
Thank you.
excited for this journey
Yeah.
and to see where you guys go. And the last thing I just wanted to ask is, what would you say to associates in your position about taking this step? Maybe they're a little nervous. They just need validation from you guys because you've been out there doing
We
it. What
need
would you
to.
say?
We still need it.
We still need it, yeah.
It does feel a little bit more comfortable
Yeah.
to encourage people to say, just do it.
Yeah.
The money can get a little overwhelming
Yeah,
that you're
quit.
about to assign yourself to. The leaving the potential comfort of an associateship,
Yeah.
which ours has never been comfortable, but leaving that, for some people, that's a really big jump to take, and
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a kid. We have 3, so we can
Yeah.
tell everybody, just have a baby. It's fine. You'll work it out. You figure it out together, and
Yeah.
we're kind of this is our 4th baby, so
Yeah.
we're trying to approach it from that first parent standard.
Yeah, don't have so many cooks in the kitchen when you're worried about the next step in your career.
Yeah.
Find something that, like what we did with Breakaway, it works, and just do it.
Yeah.
And Dr. Luna talks about that all the time. The most successful people are the ones that don't think, they just do.
Yeah.
They run into a roadblock, they don't think, they just
Yeah.
figure out how to get around it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's probably one of the best business advices ever. And that way you learn and adapt as you go. So, just do.
Awesome. Well, thanks to the both of you.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.